see.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Tonight's our second Chalk Talks of the season. And we have Paige Maynard with us from Marshall University. She's a senior pitcher. But before we get started, my name is Scott Lobenthal. I'm the president of Hang Tough. So if I haven't met you yet, hopefully I'll get a chance to at some of our indoor practices coming up this fall, or some of the clinics that we're going to offer. Our virtual Chalk Talk series is something that, we started doing about 6 years ago. And the purpose of it is to provide an opportunity and bring in guest speakers to meet and interact with our girls, share their softball journey, and allow the girls to ask questions, families to ask questions. Many of our guests, they've gone through totally different recruiting experiences, experiences in high school, travel, college, and, how did they find the college that they wanted to play for that fit. Some of them have gone through the transfer portal as well in college, so they can talk about that as well. And again, a lot of times you don't know what questions to ask unless you've actually been through it, or somebody personally that has been through it. So I would encourage all the girls and families to ask questions at the end here for the last 15 minutes. And we're going to run through questions with Paige now and hop to it. Again, this is all part of the Hang Tough Way philosophy, focused on putting the girls first and providing them that experience promoting softball in a positive way in our community. So, all right. So Paige joined us. She had practice this evening. And I'm going to run through a brief introduction for you, Paige.
Okay.
And you can correct me if I have anything wrong. So again, Paige Maynard is a senior pitcher from Marshall University. Last season, Paige made 32 appearances with 12 starts for Marshall. She struck out 62 batters in a 98.1 innings pitched, including a season-high 8 strikeouts in a complete game win over Coastal Carolina or Coastal Florida?
Coastal Carolina.
And she also pitched a career-high 9 innings in a complete game against Texas State with 196 pitches thrown. Paige had 11 wins and 2 saves and led the season for her team in pitching. Prior to transferring to Marshall University, Paige did play her freshman and sophomore year at Penn State University, helping the Nittany Lions go on to their first NCAA Tournament appearance in 14 seasons. So she's got some Big Ten experience, and I know our girls go and watch Michigan State right here in town, and Penn State should be a familiar team to a lot of you. And again, Paige made the move and went to Marshall University, and I know her coach, Morgan Zirkle. She was not only a phenomenal college softball player, she was a college coach, and she's played for Team USA numerous times and was just named to the Team USA team that will be going to Australia to play in that tournament. And she's also a stellar AUSL player in Athletes Unlimited. So yeah, we're super excited to have you, Paige. And I know that you were a very highly recruited player out of high school in West Virginia, and you were actually ranked the 25th, number 25 pitcher in the country for the 2022 recruiting class. And you were also an all-state pitcher for Shady Springs High School and played 4 years of travel softball with the Indiana Magic Gold. And where was they based out of, Indiana Magic Gold?
Indianapolis, I believe.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you were making a little drive there back and forth?
Yeah, quite a few times. I know that trip to Indianapolis very well.
How far a drive is that?
It's like 6 hours from my house.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very cool. Did I miss anything that you want to point out?
No, I think that's a good basis for
And you're what, a major in, is it biohealth? Like you want to be a nurse practitioner when you graduate?
Oh, health sciences.
Health
And
science.
yes, and then now looking into pharmacy. So,
Okay. Yeah, pharmaceuticals is, pretty good place to go.
hmm yeah.
Um, Also a lot of schooling and not a very easy track.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, that's pretty good. Especially with you playing softball too full time. So
Yeah. It's very interesting. I would say hard, but it's okay. As long as you can time manage, you can get it done. So,
yeah, yeah, that seems to be a difficult thing with that transition to college, and everybody's talks about that when they come on. All
yep.
right. Well, I'm gonna jump into it, and from here on out, you'll be talking a little more than me, and I'll just be asking a few questions here and there.
Okay.
When did you start playing softball, and who inspired you to play?
So I started playing around T-ball age, so that's like 4 or 5. And my sister, she played softball. She's like 3 years older than me, so kind of just following her footsteps. And so my parents put her into softball, so it was just natural for me to start playing as well.
Very cool. Um, what was your experience like when you were young, playing rec ball and so on? When did you start playing travel ball?
So I started playing travel ball, I believe, around 10U. Um, I played little league for a little bit, and then my parents put me into pitching lessons when I was around 7 or 8. And when I started taking pitching lessons more seriously and in little league, I was doing really well. Um, then my parents were like, "Okay, she's serious about it, so let's move her up to the next thing or the next step," which was travel ball. So I started playing in like a local team like when I was 10.
Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of 10U players on tonight. And I know
Awesome.
there's a lot of young players that are interested in pitching, and they want to try it, and and a lot of times the question comes up, how often do you have to work on your pitching outside of practice? How
Mhm.
often did you work on it?
So, I think I overkilled it a little bit, but I would pitch 5 days a week every week. Um, like I said, I think I might have overkilled it because when I talk to my teammates, they're like, "Oh, like I threw 3, like 3 days a week." But I would probably say 3 to 4 days a week is probably like a good amount for on your own throughout the week.
Yeah. And how often would you get lessons?
I did lessons every week, so once a week every week.
Yeah. And it takes a lot of that to get the feel and the control of it.
Yes.
And I can't tell you how many girls, we get in the program and they'll say, I've got 6 pitches.
Mhm.
And the problem is that they haven't mastered any one pitch before they moved on to the next. So that's the way that we know that if they've got a good instructor, they work
Mhm.
their way through the types of pitches that they're throwing, and they just don't teach them 6 of them at the same time.
Right.
Um, so what
Yeah.
was what's your favorite pitch?
I would say my drop ball is my most reliable, so and I can corner it really well, and ground balls is my thing, so it produces a lot of ground balls, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
Mhm.
Um, so what positions did you play growing up? I'm sure when you were younger, you probably played a lot of different positions, not just pitcher.
That's the thing that's so crazy, like, I will go back and look through old pictures, and all the time I'm in the circle. Like, there were some times I would, like, make an appearance at first, and, like, I think I tried catching one time, but I stayed in the circle for most of like even like T-ball, I was in the circle, coach pitch machine, like I was always in the pitcher circle.
Okay. Um, were you a multi-sport athlete in school?
I did volleyball like I think my 4th and 5th. 6th and 7th grade. So I played 4 years of volleyball, and then after my 7th grade year, I just decided that I just wanted to pitch. That's all I really cared about. It's all I really wanted to practice. And then I didn't play another sport until my senior year of high school. I did swim for my high school just to do something fun and really, and like it's good cardio as well. So I was like, this will be
Mhm.
good cardio and it'll be fun to like do something completely out of left field. So
Yeah. And you look tall. So I
yeah, I'm
mean, I know,
5'11".
yeah, it kind of feeds into like the swimmer,
Yeah.
build and reach and everything. So, how about, did I read that you did some cross country too?
No, I never ran cross country.
Okay, you're smart.
I'm not a runner at all.
Okay. Um, all right. That's good. I know we encourage our girls to get involved with as many sports as they want, um, especially when they're younger, to try everything and not get, not overuse their body doing just one sport, getting accustomed to it, making sure that
Mhm.
they're well rounded. And I know a lot of coaches are looking for that. The athletes that come out, if they can find a good athlete, they'll try to fit you in any position.
Yeah.
Coach over at Clary University would say all the time, I'm always looking for shortstops, and then I just convert them to the other
Mhm.
position because they're the most athletic players on the team. But I
Yeah.
know pitching and catching, those are very precise and specific positions that you can't just find somebody and convert them to. And that's, you
Yeah.
know, yeah, I'm sure your high school was pretty, very lucky to have you. So,
Yeah. I pitched every single game all 4 years. I got a lot of practice in.
yeah, well, that's pretty wild. That's a lot of pitching.
It is a
Um,
lot of pitching.
so that now we're kind of moving into the high school side of it. So, um, tell us about your high school experience. Did you have a good team in high school?
So, like you said earlier, I am from West Virginia, so softball here is kind of very behind, I would say, in other states. So I transferred to Shady my junior year of high school. So I the one high school I went to, like the entire time I was in school, no one really took it seriously. So I felt like with that high school experience, we had a really good team my freshman year, and it was a really fun experience. Then my sophomore year, there was COVID, but my last 2 seasons, my junior year and senior year at Shady, there was a lot more girls who were interested in playing. They kind of took it more seriously. So that was a really fun group to play with. We actually went to states my senior year, but it was a lot more of like working in the winter, doing practices, and it was a lot more productive. And that makes it a lot more fun to play with those girls as well when they're interested in trying to get better in the off season.
Yeah. No, and it's interesting with different guests on, there's those that had really like phenomenal high school teams and
Hmm.
others that had, an experience where it was fun and I got to play with my friends, but travel was, the place for serious ball and where I got an opportunity to be seen by college coaches.
Yeah.
Um, so I think everybody has a different experience when it comes to that. We do encourage all of our kids to play with their school teams just to have that experience
Hmm.
with them and build camaraderie with your friends. And I think it's really cool, especially in travel ball, all the people you meet at different schools. So you,
Hmm.
you kind of run into them, while you're playing in high school, and kind of a fun experience.
Oh, yeah.
Um, what was your travel ball experience like? The Indiana Magic Gold.
So that was my opportunity to be seen by colleges. The team that I had, we stayed together from, I believe, 14U all the way until we graduated. So it was a very tight knit group. It was so much fun getting to play with them. I'm still in touch with several of them, and we're all still close friends. But that was the time. It was fun, but it was also business. We would go to the big tournaments in Colorado. We went to PGF in California, and then we also did the Alliance tournaments, and it was a lot of fun, but it was also serious, like, because all of my teammates, they all went to Division I schools, so it was a lot of great exposure and just really good competition with travel ball.
It's great. So you traveled quite a bit with that team.
Yeah, well, we would go to Colorado every year, Kansas every year. We would go to Ohio, so it wasn't too far, but in the fall too, we would go to like Oklahoma and Florida. Like we were always on the road. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, sounds like a fun experience. Getting you ready for college too.
Oh yeah,
Traveling around.
yeah.
Well, that's nice. Um, so how did you know, or maybe I'll just ask you this question. Um, what was your recruiting process like then for you? Is being seen at these travel tournaments, and did you know that you wanted to go to Penn State University? You run into a coach somewhere?
So I didn't even know Penn State was interested. So that's why emailing and everything is so important because you have no idea which coaches are coming to your games. So the head coach for Penn State, she was at Miami of Ohio. And when she got the job at Penn State, she then started recruiting me there. But they would show up at other colleges that were interested. They would show up to the games, and then I would email them personally. Every single tournament, I would show my parents. They would take videos of me pitching, and then I would email them to the coaches and show up to the camps that were interested, that I was interested in playing. So travel ball and emailing and stuff like that is really important, even to coaches and schools that you might not think are interested or that you might not know, because that happened to me twice. Penn State, I didn't know they were interested, and I ended up going there. And another school that I didn't think was interested, they ended up calling me September 1st because of my emails and videos that I would send.
Okay, awesome. And then um, Coach Zirkle was also a coach at Miami University as
Yeah,
well, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Did she like take over after the coach left and went to Penn State?
Um, 2K, the head coach at Ohio State now, she took
Okay.
over Miami, and then Coach Circle, I believe, stayed there for a little bit until
Yep.
Marshall came open.
Yeah. Small world.
It
running
is,
in, running in the same circles.
it is very small.
Yeah. What type of student athletes were colleges, college coaches looking for based on your experience going to the camps, contacting coaches?
Um, there's a couple of things. So, like a selfless player, I would say. I remember distinctly one situation that my old head coach brought up was I had like a rough inning and I got pulled, and I was cheering on the other pitcher that went in. Coaches really look for that because they know you're good, but what happens when things don't go your way? They want to know how you react to that situation and cheering on your teammates. Something else they look for is hardworking, going and putting work in, being coachable. So let's say they change your swing, or for me, we are working on mechanics and things. Being able to be coachable, taking in what they're saying, and like trusting like what the coach says is going to help you, and really buying into what they're saying. And then coaches also look for like responsibility in girls. So, because when you get to college, you're going to have to handle school, time management, dealing with softball, making sure you get like, especially your freshman year, getting your study hall hours in, and all these small things add up now that you're by yourself and you're responsible over. So they look for someone who's like going to be able to carry that load as well.
Those are all great points.
Yeah.
And similar to when we have talked to coaches, what they want to see, and so I'm sure you've met quite a few of them, but yeah, things that we want our players to embody too, to think about those types of things. Selfless is a
Hmm.
huge one that you wouldn't necessarily think about, but that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, it does play a role. Like, it is a big role. We talk about it all the time in our meetings to this day. So
So what was your transition like going from high school to playing in college? Do you feel like you were prepared for it based on your travel experience leading up to it? And what do you think were the biggest challenges making that transition?
I would say with travel ball, it helps significantly. We did play a lot of high competition in travel ball. So when it came to pitching to our girls, like the transition was easier, but you're still throwing to 20, 21, 22-year olds. So there is a little bit of an adjustment period.
Mhm.
Example, like I feel like in travel ball, sometimes you could get away with missed pitches. College, they take advantage of those missed pitches. So that was a little bit of an adjustment and a challenge. But the way overcoming those challenges is just being hardworking. So, especially during the fall, um, knowing like what weaknesses are pointed out to you in the first semester, whether it's like throwing live with your team during practice and like figuring out what those weaknesses are and then working on them on your own time. And as well as you have practice time, but nothing's more effective than being able to go on your own and work those things through.
That's a smart approach, and that's great. That's why they have fall ball, is so that
Exactly.
we've got a number of girls. My daughter's going through fall ball right now at a community college, so
Gotcha.
um, and it's nice to meet the team, see where you fit into it, see the
Hmm.
things that you need to work on through the months leading up to the spring season.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why did you choose Marshall University?
So I really missed when I was at Penn State. It was also a 6-hour drive. Uh, I missed having my parents in the stands. You work so hard with your parents and they pour so much time into it. And then it sucks really them not being able to see what you both put so much time and effort into. So that was one of the main reasons. But another reason was Marshall and being able to represent my home state and my people was just super important to me. And our coaching staff and this program, like they're just so awesome. Our coaches are, and it's just really easy to like want to play behind them and play for them and all that they represent here at Marshall. So that's why I chose to come back home.
Hmm. No, that's really cool that you get to represent your state and come back home to play college ball like your last 2 years. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's awesome.
yeah.
It's awesome.
And just from what I know from Coach Zirkle, it'd be fun to play, for her and learn from her because she's played at the highest level that there is. So
Yes, she's so knowledgeable when it comes to hitting and even with her pitch calling. Like her softball IQ is so high. So it's just really cool getting to pick her brain on things like that and then use it with my everyday. So it's just awesome.
mhm. In your opinion, what work ethic is needed to be successful at the collegiate level?
I would say self-discipline and like self-motivation. So when it comes to there's things 20-hour weeks, which is team practice during season, and then out of season, it's 8-hour weeks. So it's really easy during the 8-hour weeks in the off season to want to relax, kind of take your off days, which is what you need to do. But also, if you need to work on something, going in and working on it, like I was saying, like figuring out what happened that a weakness that you need to work on and going and putting that work in. Or like even during season, it gets hard. Just going to practice every day, wanting to get 1% better, or trying to work on like continue to work on your weaknesses and even strengthen your strengths. So just being self-disciplined to show up every day to practice and get better.
Yeah, very true. And it takes a special athlete to do that, to push themselves, be passionate about what you're doing, take pride in your craft. And it's one of those things we try to communicate with our players, is that, for you to get better, it's not going to just happen being at practice each day. And of
Right.
course, travel ball, I mean, we only have maybe it's 2 days a week for practices, because
Mhm.
we expect you to be working on your game at home, taking the lessons you need to take, and so on. So with that being said, like even right now, how much do you work on your game outside of your 8-hour practice weeks, would you say?
So, like I told you earlier, I kind of overkilled it when I was little. So,
Yeah.
my thing with my coaches is they don't want me to do as much,
Yeah.
but I try and at least do 1 day extra. Sometimes, if we have longer weekends, I'll probably do 2 extra days.
Mhm.
Um, but really, I'll ask the coaches and kind of get their opinion on what to do. But I usually in this off season, I'll definitely try and get at least 1 day of extra work, and depending on too if they'll let me.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Uh, so let's see. Um, how about mental toughness? Where does that come into play with your game and how you perform? How do you overcome adversity? Um, how does mental toughness and confidence influence what you do as a pitcher?
It honestly influences everything. So with pitching, you know the game. It's very some one day you can have a great day, and then the next day you can be a rough day. And just being able to believe in yourself and instill the confidence that you have from all your previous successes, and being able to push through the rough days, to get to the good days that are going to happen. So just really being able to believe in yourself based off of like I was saying earlier, performances, like practices when you did good, and just remembering when adversity comes that you are a good player, that you can do this and that you can push through because you have before in the past. And like that is a major part of mental toughness as well. Is just knowing that you've done it before, and this is just a rough patch that's going to happen. You just have to get through it.
Do you guys talk about it as a team about mental
Ye-
toughness?
Yes, we do. Um, During meetings, usually we have meetings on Monday for like we'll do different activities and things like that. We talk about kind of how our mindsets are as well, like different personalities, and like how with our personality and our mindset, how we can improve mental toughness. Also, we've read books and things before that will like ways that to improve your mental toughness and things like that.
Mhm. Do you have any favorite mental toughness books?
Oh, we read uh it was called, I think, uh Into the Herd or something like that. I can figure it out here in a second. I can look, but it was a really good book. It talked about a boy who was playing soccer, and he like tore his ACL, and how it had different activities throughout the book to improve your mental toughness, and steps that you can like implement into your own uh, life to
Mm.
help with that. So it was good.
I think it really does help for athletes to read about mental toughness as well, and seeing how it can translate, how the tools that you can use, what works for you, kind of
Hmm.
things. A lot of our girls have read the Winning State of Softball,
Oh,
which
okay.
is a mental toughness book, and a lot of self-talk and remembering what you did in practice and putting in that extra work, it all helps build confidence in your game, and then being a positive thinker too.
Yeah.
So all very important. All right, I'm going to ask you some fun questions now. Who's your favorite professional sports team and athlete?
So I was a big fan of the Dodgers uh for this season. And then my favorite athlete, the coaches tell me I'm Mad Max from the Blue Jays, that pitcher. They say that I'm similar to him. So they
Yeah.
joke about it. So I would probably say him.
Mad Max. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a fun series to watch, for sure. The
Yeah, it
World
was.
Series.
Yeah, it was. That was crazy. That last game. That was really fun to watch.
Yeah. And what would you be your walk-up song right now if you had to choose one?
I love A Great Day to Be Alive by Travis Tritt. That is I it was my walk-up song last year, but it kinda goes back to my freshman year of high school. That was, like, the song that my team would listen to all the time, so I really like that one.
Okay. And do you have a game day routine that you have, or any superstitions or good luck charms?
So, the routine kinda depends on if I have class before or not. I usually do, so I'll go to class before. They'll provide us lunch before the game, or games they don't, I'll go eat lunch and then just head to the field and kind of relax with the team before we get started with warm-ups. But something I do, or my good luck charm, I would say, is like I try and pray before every game.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. You have a routine. That's good and
yeah,
helps.
it does.
Um, Game day routine. Um, Tell us why you like giving back to the softball community. I'm sure that you do activities for Marshall University and Penn State when you were there,
Mhm.
helping out the community at large, but also the softball community. Why is that important to you?
I really like giving back because I wish when I was younger and, like, the age of, like, travel ball and stuff, that this was an opportunity for me, or, like, these resources were available. So now having the knowledge I have about the recruiting process, how college is, and, like, these questions that I wish I had the answer to when I was young, being able to give back and answer these questions that these girls have, because I also give lessons. Being able to answer these questions and help people throughout this process is just, it's very fulfilling, and it's just really nice because I wish I would have had it. So it's just super fulfilling, like I said, to be able to give back.
Mhm. No, I can understand that. Um, my day job, I'm an architect, but I really enjoy doing this in my off time and working with kids and seeing the growth and
Hmm.
just different opportunities. Again, there wasn't really travel out there. It was kind of just getting started up back when I was in high school a long time ago, before there was color. But yeah, it's really cool to see now just, what's available to kids out there.
Oh yeah.
Um, so what's next for you after softball? What do you want to do?
So I'll hopefully be going to pharmacy school starting the beginning of next year. And with pharmacy school, there's going to be a lot of studying. So hopefully, in my free time, just finding what I like to do hobbies wise. And then, two, I really enjoy lifting. So maybe trying to find like my niche in the weight room that's not softball driven, and
Mhm.
just kind of finding uh, things, that hobbies that are outside of the sport. So
Yeah. Yeah, I
I'll.
know a number of players that after they finished playing softball, they've gotten into competitive lifting or bodybuilding, and just
Mhm.
finding things that they enjoy and
Yeah.
doing things like that at a competitive level. So I think it's cool what people kind of fill that void in with. So
Yeah. I don't think I'll be able to escape the sport. I think I still have too many strings attached. So I'll probably give lessons as well. Try and help
yeah.
wherever I go. Try and give lessons still.
You ever think you might coach?
People have asked me about it in my area. So
Mhm.
maybe when I'm out of graduate school and I'm making big girl money and stuff like that, I'll be
Yep.
able to help a little bit more and things like that. But it is on the table. I have thought about it.
Very cool. And then the last question that I have for you, before we go to the girls and open this up, um, what do you think about our Hang Tough Chalk Talks?
I think it's really cool that I went and looked through those videos. You'll have you guys had Monica Abbott on as well and the Romero sisters, and then college girls. This is just a really awesome resource for girls and the younger generation of softball, being able to have so many different point of views and so many different girls from all areas of the country, all positions, and all levels of softball. It's just an awesome resource for the younger generation to get some of these answers to questions that they might not even known they had or things like that. It's just an awesome resource, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's all made possible by people like you that, take the time and join us and can share, that experience. So we do really appreciate it. So thank you for being here tonight. And at the end of each one of these, I typically do it's a random drawing, and we give one of our participants a gift, and
Oh, awesome.
it's a gift card for Dick's. And we typically pick a number and then just go down the list, and whoever's that number on the participant list is who we assign it to. And it's Kendall Barkley. You on, Kendall?
Yeah.
All right. I will make sure that I get you that Dick's gift card next time I see you. Okay. And thank you for being on tonight. All right. So we're going to go ahead and open it up for questions, ladies. And you can either put it in the chat and I can read it off to Paige, or you guys, yep, just raise your hand and you can chime in. So, and it looks like Stevie, go ahead, from our 10U team.
Hi. I was wondering, how did your team cheer you up from a strikeout?
How do they cheer me up? So our team, especially on the infield and in the dugout, we're very vocal. So they'll kind of holler, hoop and holler and scream and just get excited with me and for me when that happens.
Okay, two-part question. Did you ever blame it on the ump?
A strikeout? No. No. I with umpires, you have some good ones and you have some bad ones, but you at the end of the day, you just have to use it as a learning experience and then just go on and it'll be okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good question, Stevie. So, is it Alex?
So when you are pitching, when you have drills, like what's your favorite pitching drill to do?
So a good drill for me is I like to work on mechanics. I'll have so I'm trying to think for a leg drive drill is because sometimes I struggle with that. I will do it's called the flamingo drill, and pretty much what you'll do is I will stand on the rubber and my drive foot, and I'm a right-handed pitcher. So, sorry, my push-off leg. So my right foot, I'll stand on that with my left leg up like a flamingo, and I will do my pitch and really push off and explode with my right leg, and that works on my leg drive and explosiveness coming off the mount.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Bree?
Like when you were in the circle, what was your most pride position? Like when the coaches were watching you?
So, can you repeat the question?
When the coaches were watching you and you were in the circle, what was your most positive thing you were on pride position?
Okay, so most positive thing, I would think kind of my demeanor on the mount. I am very calm, like during the bad, I would say, and then or the rough situations, and then I am very excited when good things happen. So like strikeouts, but even I get really amped up and very cheerful, even for if it's a ground ball and my teammate makes a good play. So that was something that coaches noticed with me.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Stevie, have another question?
Yeah, I'm just really curious. Did your teams, past or present, have you guys made any cheers that were customized for your team?
Oh yeah. So my freshman year, I can't unfortunately remember the cheer, but we had like the cheer and then we would also do like a dance in the dugout that would go along with the cheer. And
That's really cool.
yeah, and that was a lot of fun to do. So, but yeah, we make custom cheers all the time.
I think every team should have that kind of team bond.
Yes, it's awesome to play with the girls like that when you have a really tight knit team chemistry and things like that. I hope that for you guys as you grow throughout the sport.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Raylyn put a question in the chat. What are some good drills for young 10U pitchers to develop their release point?
So this isn't a drill, but it is something that I do warming up, and I think girls should start doing early when they're pitching, is just working on their snaps before they pitch. So like how you throw overhand to warm up, I would also do just wrist snaps. I'm going to get up and show you guys since I can. But with facing your catcher, just working on your release. So snapping your wrist for each pitch. So this would be fastball. And then if you do curve, working on your curve and things like that, snapping it to your catcher. And then other drills for release point, honestly, is just pitching. And I would also video myself from behind and off to the side, and being able to, when you have the video and you throw a good pitch, you can go back and look on the video and see where you release the ball at. Those are two things that really help with release point, even with girls that I do lessons with now. I'll do that, and it really puts the image in their brain on, this is where I threw a good pitch. This is where my hand was. It was right here on my side, or things like that to help with their release point.
Yeah. No, that's great. Juliana?
When, are there any other pitchers other than you?
Yes. So on our team, there are 4 other pitchers.
If someone else is pitching, what position do you play?
I am a pitcher only. So if I am not pitching, I am sitting and watching, or I'm warming up in case I have to go in. So,
Okay.
yeah. But we do have a girl on our team that she is a freshman, but she is also practicing at other areas. So she practiced at first. So if you're able to, then you could play in other areas.
Okay.
Good question. I'll ask one here. So is pitch counts, is that becoming a thing now in softball?
For practice, it is. Games, it's still not, as hence why I threw 196 pitches in one game. But with our practices, coaches are starting to keep an eye out for it more for just our arm health in general and to prevent from overuse. So
I do notice that some college games that I've been to, that they have a radar gun behind the backstop, and like it might not necessarily be the coaching staff, but staff for the softball teams just keeping track of the rate of speed and what pitches are being thrown and so on. So maybe that more to kind of gear how tired the pitcher's starting to get and so on.
Yeah, so both of the schools, Marshall and Penn State, they would use that to kind of track, like you said, like fatigue throughout the game. And then also as well, just to be able to track the difference between the two, between like freshness in the earlier game. If she throws harder, I tend to throw harder as the game goes on. So even use it to track and say, this was your peak speed, like maybe the third or fourth inning. Maybe you should warm up a little bit more before the game or before you go in, so that we can get your peak speed earlier in the game instead of later in the game. So just kind of use it as for personal reference for pitchers as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting how they're kind of gauging and watching and coaching for those things.
Yes.
It looks like Stevie has another question. You there, Stevie? How about Alex?
Have your coaches ever put you out of the circle for a specific reason?
Yes. So usually if you're getting hit is obvious one. Sometimes if there was a time earlier in my career I couldn't make an adjustment when the coaches had confidence in me, but I just wasn't making the adjustment that I needed to, so I was pulled. But other than that, coaches usually like you to try and figure it out and write out on your own. But if I didn't make the adjustment or things like that, then I was pulled.
And also, what, is there a year that they, the whole year they didn't put you out or anything?
Not really. My freshman year, I was behind two fifth-year seniors. So, granted, I didn't get to play a whole lot of innings my freshman year. I was more in a development stage, while our two fifth-year seniors were getting a majority of the innings. So that was kind of my freshman year.
Yeah. No, that was a good question. And you have to anticipate some of that too going into high school. And that's why we try to work with all of our girls and talk to them about playing multiple positions, because when you become a freshman, there could be a senior or junior in front of you at that position. So rather than sitting, you have an opportunity to tell the coach that you can help contribute in another way, playing in the outfield, whatever it might be. So we would highly encourage, all of you to kind of focus on that. And then going to college, the same thing, wherever how you fit into the mix, as you come in the door, that's going to kind of dictate that playing time, especially that first year, I would imagine.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
I have one question, Scott. Sorry.
Yep, go
I
ahead.
was trying to figure out how to raise the hand thing and I can't find the button. You said you followed your sister growing up. Did your sister ever go to college for playing softball?
No. So she played travel ball. I think she started earlier than I did, maybe like 8U, 9U, those kinds of things. But during, I believe it was her sophomore year of high school or somewhere during high school, she told my parents, like, I think I just want to do this for fun. I want to focus on school. Like, I don't want to go to college. So after that, she no longer played travel ball. So.
Yep, that happens. So,
Yeah.
but obviously you were dragged to the ballpark all the time.
Yes, I
At
was.
an early age, so you fell in love with it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Stevie, do you have another question?
Sorry about a little bit ago my computer paused. But do you remember your first walk-up song?
We did, I believe we did walk-up songs my senior year of high school. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Penn State, but their kind of slogan, same thing with Marshall's too. So I got really kind of got lucky, but both of them are "We Are," and then they say the school. So my first up walk-up song was just a recording, I believe, of the student section at a football game yelling, "We are Penn State." So that was a cool one.
I bet. Can I ask one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know the first league you got hit by a fast pitch?
Oh, I don't remember that. It was probably somewhere during travel ball. I probably around 14U or 16U was the first time, I believe.
Recently, last year, it was in our indoor tournament. I got hit right in the shin.
Oh my gosh, the shins. Honestly, I think those hurt the worst. Those are not good.
Yeah, it hurt a lot.
I bet.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Of course.
Thank you.
So what are your personal softball goals for this season?
So, team-wise, I want us to win a Sun Belt Conference championship. I think the talent that we have on our team I think we can get it done. And then with winning Sun Belt, you get to go to regionals. So I really want to, my last year going out, win a conference and then go to regionals. I think that would be awesome. And then a personal goal is I would like to be hopefully first team all conference. I think that would just be an awesome accomplishment for personal wise.
Oh, those are great goals. Who's your primary competition in the Sun Belt?
So it was Coastal. They won it last year. I would say probably Coastal and Texas State. Those are two really good teams to beat in the Sun Belt.
All right. Well, are there any other questions from the group or coaches? I know we have a couple coaches on as well. Any questions for a pitcher? If not, I don't see any more hands being raised. But again, we appreciate your time tonight, Paige. It was nice to have you on, and you did a really good job representing yourself in Marshall University. And we wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Do you know where do you go at the beginning of the season? Does your team travel out of the area for the first week or two of the season?
Yeah, so we usually go down south. This year we'll be in Florida for 2 weeks, and we're going to be playing a lot of Florida teams. So we're playing Florida Gators, Florida. Uh, I don't know if I could say this, but we'll be in Florida for a little bit. So
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and if we see you on TV, we'll definitely tune in and cheer for Marshall when you're playing.
awesome. Yes, awesome.
Yep. Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you again, and have a good night.
Thank you so much. You too.
Yep.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Good
Have a
night.
nice night.
Good night.